Well, first of all, last year I met a number of families who had been very suddenly and tragically bereaved by the scourge of misuse of drugs in West Belfast. And whilst this is an issue which affects many communities, it affects all classes and creeds, it has no geographical boundaries. Nevertheless, there were too many people in this constituency who were losing their lives to the scourge of misuse of drugs. And I met those families and I made a promise and made a commitment to them that we would do our level best to try to put attention properly on the problem, to scope out the extent of it, more importantly to try to work with all of the other government bodies in particular to try to devise strategies and solutions to make sure other people do not lose their lives and other families are bereaved. So this morning we were here to launch the work of a panel which we established at the time. The panel is a very creative model, if you like, and all of those involved have actually admired the importance of and the format of the panel itself, in that it involved people from within the community sector and people from within the various government departments, in particularly health and justice, working with the PSNI, working with the coroner's office and so on. So the panel members themselves are drawn from all of those bodies and agencies. They have worked tirelessly over the past 6 months. They have engaged extensively with families who have been bereaved themselves. They have visited Highbank, they have talked to the coroner, they had open access, and they made this point this morning, they had full open access to all of the information that the Department of Health and Justice had at their disposal to help the panel in their deliberations. So this morning we're very pleased to be here in St Mary's Training College to publish the report. It has a number of recommendations. Those recommendations could be far-reaching in terms of how we address the scourge of misuse of drugs and how do we prevent further misuse and indeed further tragedy to be inflicted on this community. And whilst I would say that this report was to focus and did focus almost exclusively on West Belfast, the report itself and the panel members themselves are not oblivious that West Belfast is somehow an island. These problems are experienced in other communities, not only across the city but beyond. And I do hope that the work of the panel, which has resulted in important recommendations, that I certainly as their elected representative and one of the people instigating the establishment of the panel, will make sure that the recommendations contained therein will be made to good use, and we will campaign to put the necessary resources and support not only in terms of preventing drugs misuse but also supporting those families who have been unfortunately tragically left feeling very alone, isolated in their bereavement. So we go forward from today trying to make sure we deliver on the promise of this report.
Sinn Féin, go on in carta agus aontas na hÉireann, equality, rights and Irish unity.